Hello and welcome to the Star Wars Micro Galaxy Squadron Wave 9 live stream from Jazwares. I'm Tim Bungeroth, copywriter, and today here with me are two members of the design team, John Ottinger and Gi-Hoon Son. You guys want to introduce yourselves?
My name's still John Ottinger. I'm a staff designer on the Star Wars team.
Gi-Hoon Song, I am senior designer. There we go.
Awesome.
Correct.
They've got tons of things to talk about and to go in depth about Wave 9 today. We've also got two very special guests. The first one being Carson Teva himself, Paul Sun-Hyung Lee, who is here with us right now. Paul, introduce yourself.
Hey, everybody. What's up? It's Paul Sun-Hyung Lee here. Of course, I play Captain Carson Teva on The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett and Ahsoka, and I am thrilled to be here because I am a huge fan, for those of you who know, of this particular brand, this line of spectacular toys. And so thank you so much for having me here. I'm honored, and it's always a pleasure to see all three of you, all four of you again. You're in for an absolute treat, everybody who's watching this right now.
Thank you.
Really exciting
Thank
things.
you. Yes, we love having you. Yeah, I love the shows you're in. It's super exciting. And so our other very special guest is none other than Commander Cole from the Micro Galaxy Squadcast. On our wing, as always, Cole, introduce yourself.
Hey, I am not in Star Wars, but you may know me from my many social accounts following the line Micro Galaxy Squadron here and there. And as of this year, the Micro Galaxy Squadcast with Microfleet Kevin, Nostalgic Adam, and maybe one day Paul will hop on there with us if he could get worse at acting and had more time on his hands. I think he'll join there with us at some point.
Fantastic, fantastic. All right, so now that we've all formed up and we're on each other's wing, we're gonna fly behind Carson. And we're going to start talking about the TIE Reaper to begin with. And I think we're going to start with an unboxing. So, Paul, take us away.
Yeah. Hey, everybody. Okay, so I got sent this. I'm going to switch cameras here. I got sent this gorgeous, gorgeous new ship. Of course, this is the TIE Reaper, which is a personnel carrier that was first introduced in live action in Rogue One. You saw this during the Battle of Scarif. I am one of the lucky ones to get an advanced sort of copy of this, and I will be unboxing this tonight, and I cannot wait. One of the things that we all know is I love ships, the different style of Imperial crafts, Rebel crafts, all around. I'm excited to open this up. It's much larger than I thought it was going to be. I actually have other ships that are comparable to it, so we're just going to do a size comparison once we've opened this up. But as you can see right here, I'm always so tickled pink when I get sent these in advance, because to get something like this is always so exciting. It's so gratifying. So this is it. We're going to be opening this up right in front of you. And for those of you who are familiar with how these ships are packaged, it is it's not out of the ordinary. You look at it, you've got this beautiful presentation there. It comes with 3 figs, and if this is a first. We've got, looks like laser beams or some sort of projectiles that'll be able to be launched from this vehicle. And I think that's kind of a first in this line. Am I right?
Yep. Yeah, that's it. Gi-Hoon, why don't you talk a little bit about the projectiles?
Oh, yeah, it's the first time we're doing something like this. The projectiles are actually more powerful than they seem.
Just keep your eye out, kid.
Yeah.
And these are not to be taken internally, correct?
Ingested.
All I'm saying is don't eat them, right?
Yeah.
Missiles are not to be. Yeah, that's a Simpsons reference. Anyways, yeah, so we've got that there. On the back of the box, as always, we've got, kind of rudimentary, not rudimentary, but you've got a sort of instruction manual for the ship, the different components from the landing gear to where the figures get placed. How things open up and instructions. And you also have these really great sort of collectible blueprints for the ship. I have a friend of mine, Steve 3, he likes to cut these out, and he collects these as well, and he keeps them on file. And those are all these nice little touches that Jazwares has with this line too, to just sort of play up the collectability, but also the playability of this line of toys right here. So without further ado, I'm just going to open this up right now because yeah, I got to get my hands.
You're out. Let's take her for a spin.
Here we go. Here we go. So I don't like tearing stuff open. I try to be as precise as possible.
I'm sure
so I use the tools of the trade.
Yeah, that's a good question. Some of our vehicles have sort of intricate packaging layouts. This looks pretty straightforward though.
Yeah. There's this, and it looks like it comes in one piece. I know for some of the other ties, you had to attach. They come in separate pieces, and you have to actually put the wings together, the panels together, and whatnot. This is all in one piece, which is great. I'm just looking at the box art inside. I'm going to pull this out. I'm going to pull out the inner sleeve. Quite nice, and it is Scarif. Looks like the tropical world of Scarif, and you can see some contrails in the air, and it looks like very, very fitting for the environment in which we were first introduced to the TIE Reaper. You've got it here. You've got your 3-pack. I'm just gonna zoom in a little bit. You got your 3-pack of figures. You've got the Death Trooper Commander and some Death Troopers as well. We'll take a look at that in a bit. I'll just pull this out of the case. We've got the aforementioned non-edible missiles. Right. And looks like they're taped in. Nope, they weren't. I thought that was taped. Just an optical illusion. And we've got the TIE Reaper itself, which is securely put in place with these rubber bands, which is great. I get a lot of flack from Steve 3 for using these clippers, but they're quick and efficient, and they just go. They're much easier than using an X-Acto knife sometimes. And you got some plastic ASMR for those of you who are into that.
Oh yeah.
One of the things that excites me the most about the TIE Reaper is that it's great for obviously for play with the projectiles, but since it is an attack lander, it can be a real nice centerpiece of. A lot of our collectors do display scenes and display sequences and build their own dioramas. So having all of the Death Troopers coming out of the landing ramp is a really fun. It makes a great centerpiece for a diorama.
Guys, the number of times I've tried to get one of these out of the bubble after just putting small children to bed.
I'm so sorry.
And tried so hard not to make the loud noises.
Oh my gosh. So here it is, and right off the bat, wow. I mean, as always, you guys always the level of detail that are put into these ships. The articulation of the wings, the panels, is great, right? Very solid, not loose, which is what I like. They're ratcheted, right? So you can have them in different configurations. Let's look at the right there, the engines on it. I can see the gear.
So that one is actually
these are buttons. Yeah,
there's a trigger for the guns.
Right. And here, that's what I'm looking for. There you go. So that's the gear back there. We have the retractable landing gangplank. It's called. It's right there. Missiles. You can see. I don't know if you can see right there. This is where the non-edible missiles. Loaded.
Guys, talk us through some of the wing movement and exactly what it represents at what part of its flight pattern.
Oh, so I think when you look at the movie, when the wings are in the down position, like below like that, that's the flying position. And then when it lands, it's completely horizontal.
Oh, okay.
Very similar to how the TIE Striker flies.
Mm-hmm. And the TIE Striker, one of the big things for that was it was specifically designed for atmospheric flight. Right?
Ah, there's
that
the
is why.
Okay.
So that's why you never really saw them during the Battle of Yavin. Around the Death Star. It's more of an atmospheric spacecraft. It's an atmospheric craft, and so that's why as well. And this is also a troop carrier.
Yes, this is more of the LAT line of vehicles.
And let me see.
If you go from the finger tab right there,
you go woo. Look at that, and that's so you've got. Is it the engine compartment there, which is great, and there's also room for a figure to get put into place there, which is great. And again, like look at that. I just love how detailed that is. It's not just a blank sort of space, right? Everything is carefully sort of laid out, and you can believe that this is an engine core, and they're working on that. And I'm going to open up this in the interior again, seating area for the death troopers or the troops that you want to have, the ship carrying. The detail, like the sculpted doorway is right there. And it is so the aesthetic is so Star Wars as well, right? It's not like generic spaceship. It's definitely in the Star Wars universe.
Oh yeah, we try to get as many assets as possible for reference, so we can get as accurate as we can possibly make it.
And then pièce de résistance. Look at that, the cockpit right there. So you've got 3 different compartments here, from the cockpit for the pilots, the actual troop transport area, and then the engine room, which is, that's great.
That's a good point, Gihu, too. As much as you can reveal, talk about some of those assets. Obviously, you have the films themselves and the shots that the public can see, but what else do you get to look at that helps you shape the such detailed designs?
Some of the references we look at is the DK books, because those are also official, and they show the interior and some of the parts you don't see in the movie at all. And then some of the shots from the of the making of the movie, because you can see some angles that you won't usually see in the final film. And some of the areas, like if you look at the inside of the landing gears, those details, some of the details we try to get as much as possible from what we have available. But if there are some details that we can't find, we have to essentially stitch apart what we can.
So that's fun. So there's a little bit of a thread of your own into the Star Wars tapestry.
Yeah.
Every surface tells a story.
Yes.
Right. No surface is untouched.
No surface untouched. That was the big philosophy since Wave 1.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I like what I really love is the wings are they're pretty solid, very very solid. I know some of the other ships sometimes I haven't received what's that? I put together the TIE silencer and adding the wings to the front just because of the length of it. Sometimes you put it in. These are solid through and through, which is great.
What's the portion about the TIE Reaper is that since it's in in our Dreadnought class,
mm-hmm.
we have more packaging room to work with.
Right.
Because some of the other ones were limited by the retail space, I guess.
That's right. Still works, but they're still great.
Yeah, I think most people would rather have a little bit of assembly required and have the ship end up looking right in hand. I know I always appreciate that, instead of making concessions on the other end.
I don't mind it, though. I was looking at the figures, the minifigs. Right here, you get 2 Death Troopers and a Death Trooper Commander. Now, this is the Death Trooper Commander right over here. You can tell because they have the shoulder pauldron that usually denotes rank right there. So this is the Commander, and these 2 are the regular Death Troopers right there. And again, guys keep knocking out of the ballpark in terms of the detailing on these figures that are so small, and the paint apps are just off the hook. And on the backs as well, you've got these lovely blueprint style uh, photographs right there, and it's even clearer. You can see right there the clone trooper, sorry, Death Trooper commander with that pauldron on the shoulder. That's what I was referencing, and it's great. So I'm just going to pull them out of the little plastic prisons.
So it comes with 3 microfigure accessories, and how much room is there? How many figures can actually fit inside all the parts?
I'm counting 9 spaces.
Oh wow! All right, so 9 spaces is really cool because stuff I love to ask our fans, because all of the vehicles are obviously cross compatible with everything. Is that who are you going to put in there? Who else is going in this TIE Reaper? Are you buying another one for more Death Troopers? Are you putting in Stormtroopers? Are you putting in some heroes and villains? Those are things I'm always interested in.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I fleet build, so I'm definitely picking up another one of these. I've done that with my AT-ATs, where I've bought multiples just to recreate the Battle of Hoth diorama style, but also so that I can what I'll do is I have one of the AT-ATs and I open it up and I have all the figures revealed inside of it. And so what I do is I take the extras from the AT-ATs that are closed off, and that's how I populate the one that is wide open.
That's
yeah.
smart.
And so
Same,
I
yeah.
definitely do something like that with the TIE Reaper.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Well, what we need to do is come up with a speeder bike that these guys can ride on, so we can get them in the scout class and just buy dozens of them.
Right.
Although I'm like I love sort of the own adventure, so I probably will fill mine up with regular stormtroopers, or like maybe down the line it becomes an Imperial remnant a vehicle of some sort, which would also be very cool.
This is
all right. John, do you have anything else to say about its design and production?
I just love how big it is, but I really enjoy the ratcheting, or what I like calling the delight factor. When you move the landing gear, they click, and it's so satisfying. And we have those clicks in all the positions of the wings, which is subtle, but it just adds a layer of satisfaction to it, and another way to enjoy it. And that's just part of the quality that we try to bake into all of our vehicles.
Yeah, the only other question I have is that once you get this guy in the air and with the non-edible projectiles, is who are they blowing up first?
Well,
oh man, we need to get a tape measure out. Who's got a tape measure around? See what the distance on those things is.
Yeah, that was pretty forceful.
yeah, I think we actually measured it. It's about like 4 feet.
Oh, it's got to be longer than that. I mean, how far away are you from Tim? That thing shot straight at him.
Not 4 feet. I was thinking meters.
That looks strong. Now, a lot of the features have been fairly grounded. How did you guys arrive at the point that this is the vehicle that we should add a play feature like the firing missiles at?
Well, every wave we try to one up the previous wave, and when we got to this point, just having detailed vehicle, we thought might have been enough, and especially for the fans, they might want something more, and especially for the kids, who'll be playing with these. So we wanted to add features, for more playability.
Paul
That is
Paul
a
trying
very,
to break
very
his lens right
powerful
there
spring.
with him.
That's a very powerful spring. I just shot a couple at the camera. And, this is cool. This is so much fun.
I might have to hide this from my 4-year-old.
Yeah, no, this is let's go double barrel. Woo!
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, seeing it in person like this, the color that you've used for it's kind of, those really, really pop.
Oh, thank you. It's funny when we're playing with the samples to get this right. All all of us were shooting each other in the eyes.
Shoot your eye out, kid.
Yeah, you put on your eye. There you go. And just for reference too, this is the other troop transport that was used in Rogue One. This is the U-Wing that's been available for a while. They are comparable in terms of length. It makes sense. The U-Wing is, of course, what the Rebel Alliance used to transport their troops. And so they've got a side door, whereas the Reaper actually has that ramp where they disembark from there. Of course, there's that iconic shot of the Reaper landing and the Death Troopers spilling out and just wreaking havoc against the Rebel ground forces on Scarif. And so this is what I love. Like, in terms of the scale, they're very, very close to each other, which is great. And it makes sense in universe for these ships to be similar in size. And these are things that the nerd inside of me really, really appreciates. Because, other older toy lines had that where you just, this, it's cool to have the ship, but sometimes the scale doesn't quite align. And so it's really, really gratifying to have that sort of put into play. Here's the regular TIE fighter, and of course the TIE bomber as well, which is supposed to be a big ship as well. So when you put them side by each, you can see just how this compares to the other ships that we have in the Mako Galaxy Squadron line. Right there.
It's great too. Now that we were talking about the iconic scene when they're on the beach, it's just that this is Jazwares. This is our summer vehicle forever. This is our summer offering. Yeah, we've got
nice.
Awesome. So I think what we're going to do next, if everyone's ready, is I think we're going to move on to the next big reveal, which is the ARC 170 right here, which I am super excited to take a look at. Personally, just because I didn't realize how big this thing was, especially when I was just watching the films, and when the films came out in theaters. When I first saw it, I assumed, because they were sort of positioned as an X-wing predecessor, that they were about the same size. But this is a big boy. So I'm really excited to talk about how this was made.
Tim, I'm right there with you. I was shocked at the size of that and had to go back and really try to deep dive into it. I'm just shocked that was the actual size.
Yeah, I know. And then now when you take a look at it, when you get to play with it, you're like, oh, okay, there's a gunner in the back. There's a cockpit for 2 pilots and an astromech. And then, they were blown out of the sky frequently. So you realize they had to get more maneuverable as the war went on.
Yeah, I loved hearing that click on those wings, too. That sounded really, really promising there, really strong.
It's our delight factor.
Look at that.
And the little turrets in the back.
Yeah, you can see 2 pilots here, the gunner and the droid.
Oh, so there's room for even another figure to put in there.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That is amazing. You know what I love is the details on the engines. Right there, like the metallic bits. Like, look at that. Just, it can be very, you could have just sort of glossed over it and just could have had the silhouette of the ship and whatnot. But this is, in my mind, what separates the Micro Galaxy Squadron from all the other lines, is that attention to detail and the fact that within the canopy, even you open it up and you see all those lines in the instrument panels and everything that's there. And what's really lovely too is the lines across the hull. So if anybody likes to modify or add weathering or repaint their ships, they can do that because there's an incredible richness of detail right in there that'll make panel lines pop. And really, if you want to immerse yourself in that world and modify these ships, it's all the work is done for you. Basically, you just have to add paint.
It's absolutely true. I've been playing around with the marker on my desk with the E-wing actually, and it is so much fun. There's so much there. There's so much detail. I'm impressed with our larger community and the different types of alterations they make and the pictures they make. I'm really excited, especially just to go back to the TIE Reaper. I love to see that on the beach with all the the sea salt and the salt water and beach weathering. But I completely agree on what we're giving fans, and even then they can take it the next mile.
What's really fortunate for us is that some of our designers on our team have automobile or transportation background, which kind of actually brings more of the realness to these vehicles.
That's great.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That is,
and the scribe lines on here are all accurate. We just labor over those and adjust them and make the proportions as close as we possibly can on all the scribe lines, the little details.
And on top of that, it makes it fun to touch. The tactile, even the display is one thing, but to feel all those scribe lines right there. I mean, you feel it. You get to really feel the ship. It's really fun.
Yeah, and they accept a wash really nice. Really accents the panel lines.
Yeah, kudos to you guys for putting that in the Starship class too. I think there's probably a you could have maybe undersized it and got it down into a starfighter, but the fact that you guys kind of stayed true to it and got it properly in that Starship class is really great.
That's something. So you got to get? You got to get two or three of them with the Jedi interceptors for Obi-Wan and Anakin to get a good display going. Look at those the back turrets. I didn't even know they had that. That's like,
yeah, the back turrets articulate, swivel around, top and bottom. Do it over there. Yeah.
Now the main cannons that are on the wings, what materials are those made out of?
I think they are what is it? PVC.
Okay.
So they're PVC, so they can be. If we made this of a harder plastic, they could, especially in areas like this, easily break. So we do that to prevent that, and it's more safer for kids.
Yeah.
Lord knows my kid is always breaking all my Ninja Turtle bows, so that they should take a page out of our book.
Yeah. And that was one of the things I remember with some of my older X-Wings from different toy lines is the first things to snap off would have been the laser cannons, right? And so something like that, having a softer plastic that is a lot more durable and safer, really adds to the longevity of a toy, especially if you're going to be playing with them.
And it looked like, so all four of those wings do kind of articulate separately, correct?
Yeah. I'm doing them one by one right now.
And they ratchet to some degree there.
The ratchet to me is one of the most rewarding parts, because not only does it sound really good, but it just is an audible cue of build quality. It's just like, okay, you're in good hands.
Yeah, it sounds great. And I'm really glad to see how stiff those cannons are too. Even at that material, those look great.
And it's got that engine deco, which we implemented in, I forget which wave, but since we started, it's always been one of my favorite features. It's right there. We got those little pink lights coming in the back.
Now, whose job is it to go back and make sure that all of those are canon accurate?
We actually have two members, Leon and Kevin, who are really into Star Wars. They're like born in it. They know the exact episodes, and they will look at it and be like, "Oh no, that's the one version off. The one that we're talking about comes 2 years later in the canon."
You know what? That reminds me of something. Tell us a little bit, both of you. Tell us a little bit how, from concept to product, how one ship is built. Is it multiple designers are working on it? Is one person take the lead? Walk us through a little bit of that.
Yeah, one person is assigned a ship, or you fight for that ship to get it if it's your favorite one, like I do several times. And then you're going to take it through. You're going to get a lot of the best reference you can possibly get from the entertainment and from our licensor. Then from there, we essentially create blueprints of the ship from all angles. And our pilot figures will draw what we call the turns, the front view, the side view, left, top, back. Even though it's a 1-inch figure, we just really I call it turning the screws on that. The tip of the nose is slightly off on that one. Or we got to raise the cheek. Even though the head is like a quarter of a grain of rice, it's accurate as we possibly can get it. And then we do the color call out specs, which will all be on this technical document. The texturing, all the function, we'll do diagrams of each function, the exact degrees we want it to turn and move. And that's how we start the document. Some go up to 80 pages.
Wow.
So we're going to segue real soon, but now I kind of want to ask Paul and Cole, if you had to fight to design any ship in the Micro Galaxy Squadron line, what would you fight the hardest for?
Well, the one I probably would have picked is sitting there on your table right now, coming up here in Series 9.
Okay.
With the TIE Defender.
Ooh. He's going down. This one's prototype.
I'm curious if Paul's might be a little more personal.
Yeah, well, I'm not gonna lie. That's one of the first things that did sort of pop to mind. My character does fly an X-wing, and so, that would be an absolute treat to just sort of be a part of. That being said, too, I mean, I'm also very much in love with the Fondor Hallcraft, which I thought was a really, really neat design too, which was in the world and yet, still very familiar but different. Like I love the different styles of ships that we're seeing that are populating the universe that are apart from the classic designs that we are so familiar with. And I just love ships, and so yeah.
Now on the podcast a few episodes ago, I did kind of dream up the sail barge, and now that I've thought about that is the one that you could not pry me away from, with lights and sounds, and hopefully I'm paying the money to license the songs. So you can hit the button and Max Rebo's there. They're playing the songs.
Lofty Neck, yeah. I'm sure there's some version of Lofty Neck out there that we can find.
Absolutely.
Real quick, before we move on, there's two notes. The TIE Reaper and the ARC 170 are going to be available in August.
Nice.
So you can finish off the beach party with the TIE Reaper in August before the weather turns, but it never turns here in LA. And just real quick, what did you guys have to fight hardest for to design?
Well, my favorite that I fought for was my TIE bomber.
Yeah, you've been talking about it all afternoon.
That was my favorite. It's on screen for maybe not even 3 seconds, but it's just a legend ship, and it was just, I really enjoyed working on the TIE bomber.
I think that for me, the one I fought hardest for, I guess, probably is the AT-AT.
Well, here we go. Perfect.
Since it was the most, I want to push what I can, get away with.
Yeah, and that is a perfect segue, because we're going to talk about this new AT-AT Walker. Is it a canonically known? Do people call it AT-ATs, or is that just children of the 90s? Or is it AT-AT?
Oh man, you've stumbled into one of the longest running debates in Star Wars.
Maybe we're not going to go there. So we're going to talk
because a toy commercial might have said AT-AT at one point, and people that grew up with that just kind of latched on to AT-AT. But as a child of the 90s, I always felt a little weird saying that, and you say ATST. So AT-AT always made more sense to me.
All-terrain armored transport. No. Well, let's talk about it. Gi-hun, let's pull up our latest long time ago version.
So this one kind of harkens back to our retro art style that we've been doing. So this kind of fits with our previous ones, like the X-wing we did and the Tie Fighter we did back in Wave One. Um, and then it has this like retro look with like big sticker like paint jobs, as well as oh, there you go.
Did you do that back then? I don't know.
Back then, I'm not sure.
So Gihun, that's deco, right, and not actual stickers.
Yes, it's a deco that kind of tried to look like stickers, but
That's amazing because from even the shot and the product photos, it really does look like stickers.
yeah. Our designer Leon, he worked really hard to get them to look like that.
This stops when this is on someone's desk. It stops everyone in their track when they walk by. They just like, what? I want that.
And then if I can just show it here, quick shout out to our packaging team. They've done a wonderful job with this one here.
This is by far one of my favorites. Yeah.
This is the packaging.
Yeah.
Show them the back too. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's really, really cool.
And back to John's point, so many people have stopped by our office just to look at this great packaging.
And it's got the great blueprint card. It's got the red, which is real nice. Makes it pop.
Oh, there you go. And that's it. I mean, that's what I love too. Y'all are making it so hard to get rid of the boxes. it's like there's already
I have boxes
danger,
of broken down boxes,
right? And it's just, oh my god, it's so pretty, and it just screams for me my childhood too, right? Like the aesthetic, the nostalgia. It looks great as well, just simply as is, on its own thing without the nostalgia. It's just really, really well put together.
And the fun thing is for the parent. Now, as a new parent myself, I'm always like telling my son, I'm like, oh, I got to buy a copy for me and a copy for you. Right. So it's like my copy stays on the shelf, to stay safe. And Kirby's like, oh, it's safe on the shelf, Dad? Yes. And then yours you get to go and take an adventure with. So
even worse for those of us who are already buying one to open, one to keep packaged. Now, if you're adding on one for the kid,
yes, exactly,
you're in deep.
And then one for the kid, one for when he gets older and is a collector. So that's a 4 minimum.
Now for me, that's been a byproduct of these vault releases. Is some of the ones I already have. Obviously, I can send them out to friends and things like that. But there's ones where it's actually been really, really fun to these extras. Kind of, as my he's almost 5, but comes in and he's looking at it. He's interested. He kind of knows, a good bit about it without having seen the movies, but saying like, hey, would you like this one? Was that? And he like lights up. It's like, I've got these extras. I'm not going to be angry if somehow something gets broken or lost, but it's so fun the way he lights up and he runs away with it. And just the other day, he had a Kylo's shuttle from the last wave, and he's literally spinning circles in the living room, just flying it around. And, it's cool. It's a really fun bonding experience that's kind of new to me, and thanks to this line.
Yeah, those stories make me so happy. That's why I work so hard. Is for the kids. And the new memories that they get to have with their dads and their whole rest of their family. It's the best. I just love making stuff for kids, as a creator.
Definitely the biggest payoff for me in being able to be involved in this line is I've now had the enormous honor and privilege to be at both of our Star Wars Celebration events, and being at the play tables with the kids has been by far and away the most exciting things. And seeing, there are kids that are at the table and then, they come back the next day and they come back the next day and they're begging their parents to get stuff. And so, watching them just get immersed in the lore and experience of Star Wars.
I think it's one of the shows that we went together where this one kid actually started crying because he wanted to take the samples home with him.
Yeah.
And like, oh,
that was me.
Yeah. It's fun stuff. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, why it's such a fun line is that it looks like the movies. It looks exactly like the movies, and then it plays like you see on screen. So
I think the longest my kid has ever played with anything in one massive span is probably the AT-AT.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he sat there and played with that thing and all of the features for, I mean, well over an hour, just focused solely on that one vehicle, putting the guys in and out of it, you know, the speeder bike up and down, up and down.
So that reminds me, I'm going to issue a challenge to all of our fans out there, and Paul, you are available to participate in this as well. Is that now that we have released the vintage style AT-AT, I want to see it in action with our other vintage style. So we've got the TIE Fighter, so maybe a couple white TIE Fighters. We have Luke's vintage X-Wing. So I want to see a nice Instagram shot of all of them together, and we'll post that somewhere.
Challenge accepted.
Awesome. Okay, great. So I think the next thing we have on our list is a very exciting pack about the Chosen One. I actually just wrote the copy for this, which I was very, very excited about. So here we are, the Anakin Skywalker Evolution Pack, tracking his journey from young Annie and his role in the Battle of Naboo down to Darth Vader's TIE Advanced and the Trench Run, and a couple adventures or so in between. So let's talk about this one, guys. This is a really fun one, and including a ship I believe a lot of people, even big fans like me, weren't exactly familiar with.
Let me just put these.
Yeah, let's set them all up. So here's the guy I'm talking about.
Every time we're making one of these bundles together, one of the things we talk about is like, how do we make it make sense? What story, can we tell? And then one of us had the idea, is like, why don't we show like the one of the most tragic, hero to villain story? So you start from, as Tim was saying, from episode 1, from Clone Wars to now, Darth Vader.
It's really, yeah. The one thing, the thing that catches my eye, and I don't believe this has been released anywhere else. I think this is the only way to get this ship, if I'm correct, is Anakin's Jedi Starfighter that he lands during, Jedi Interceptor that he lands right before the assault on the temple, and that is a green Jedi Interceptor, and one that when I first saw, I was like, "What scene was this? When did he fly this?" And even I've seen the films quite a few times, but this is definitely a really cool deep cut that you're really hard pressed to find in any other line.
Oh,
the deco on those wings came out really, really nice too. Those really pop and look really detailed on the wing paneling there.
I always thought that one that you're holding right now was from Revenge of the Sith at the very beginning, when he and Obi-Wan are going over to what's his name, General Grievous's ship, to rescue Chancellor Palpatine.
Well, okay, so that's the funny thing too, because Obi-Wan has that. That's right. Obi-Wan has a blue. So they both have their standard. So you know what? Do we have the other Anakin? No, they both have their standard ones that are the brown. There's Obi-Wan's brown one, and then Anakin's yellow, and then Obi-Wan. Yeah. Because they both sort of lose them in the Invisible Hand, right?
Right.
Right. They both lose their ships there in that opening scene, and they both have to pick up two different ships to get to Mustafar, right?
Okay.
Yes, exactly. So I believe so. So now with Evolution Pack, we've done both.
Oh, that's incredible.
Which is, that's a super deep cut. So that's a super full one.
That's amazing. Okay. I'm sold.
Well, actually, okay, so I talked to our team about this before we went on live, and because I had to write the copy for this like a couple days ago, and we call it, it is a Jedi Interceptor, but since he's landing it as Darth Vader right before the Purge and the Temple Assault, at what point is that a Jedi Interceptor anymore? I leave that up to you two to hash out.
Well, he's a fallen Jedi, so it's still kind of.
Yeah. Well, we've already got the one that's the Sith Interceptor, so.
Yeah.
Oh, exactly.
Wow. Man, I love the color of that one. The all black,
Mhm.
dark gray.
So the green paint scheme, is that the only way to get that one is through the evolution pack, or is it going to be separate as well? Sold separately.
That's a good question.
Yeah, right now there's no plans to have any other sets.
Yeah, right now that's, I mean, if you want them, that's the way to get them right now. So I wouldn't sleep on.
There you go. No. And the figures that are included with it, I saw a little Annie, an R2, and then Vader, obviously, and then two different. There you go. Long hair and short hair.
Yes.
And you do get an R2D2 to swap in and out.
Oh yeah, that's great. All the different ships. Okay. Sold.
And that is a Target exclusive. Yeah, so that will be the perfect time when you need to stock up on Spindrifts and seltzer water to also go pick up the.
Now I'm curious what you guys find left to do with those interceptors. I feel like you've hit everything I can think of for the most part. So I'm actually really curious now to see, going forward what shows up, because it will be niche for sure.
I mean, yeah.
Things like that keep me and Jonna up at night.
Oh, well, there's two things already. I know
the ongoing spreadsheets.
You guys clamor for them. We could probably do a hologram version and then a vintage toy version. I mean, that's the thing about the AT-AT. People like the vintage toy. I think it's a real fun thing to have as a variant of. So those are the other two off the top of my mind. But
yeah, maybe an animated version with
Clone Wars, maybe. All right, so let's talk about the other big one, which is all of Wave 9. Of course, before we go into Wave 9, the other big one is our Republic Attack Force bundle set. Here we go.
Oh, sorry, I got distracted looking
this
at it.
Now you're not joking when you say big.
Yeah, this is a real fun one.
Wow.
I'm getting this for a variety of reasons. But this is a great way to get in for the first time, or if you're a junkie, it's another great thing. You get pretty much all of the Clone Wars. You get the whole army in one pack. You get what is that? 5 troopers. You get like 4 pilots. You get a BARC speeder. You get the AT-RT. The Z95, a LAT, and an ATTE, all with exclusive Republic deco. So for the Clone Wars fans out there, especially Clone Army fans, this is one you can't miss. So let's talk about it, guys.
Yeah, this is one of the biggest boxes I think we've ever done. I couldn't believe the size of that thing. Yeah, so in this one, especially, we have a whole new exclusive deco for the ATT. Let me just bring it out over here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And the tail guns.
Show them some of the features.
Yeah, show them the show. And let's also bring this out just so they have a point of reference.
So this is our previous ATTE.
Yeah, show them the articulation.
The metallic guns look amazing.
Yes, that was the first thing I noticed too. That really makes it pop. And also the insignia, the Republican insignia on the side is very, very cool.
For refresher, this one has a ton of features. As John was saying, the legs move. It has a lot of like. My hand was in the way. Okay. Yeah, the legs move. His body is very flexible for something of this size, and then the giant turret is moving around. And then all these turrets are have their own articulation as over here. And then you can see how it has interior details. All these parts come open. There's the rear gun side as well as the front with the front gunners over here. And then if you look at the front, there is the canopy and the cockpit with 2 pilots available. And then something in the back is over here. If you have speeders right here, the floor drops to...
Yeah.
It's got an elevator.
Love that.
So there's an elevator in it.
Is that one speeder that can fit there?
They can fit
Two speeders.
You can fit 2 speeders, and when they're in, it goes right back up.
All right, so let's do a troop count. All right, we got 2 gunners in the back. We got 1 top gunner. We've got 2 pilots.
Mm-hmm. And then in the front, they can sit 6 more.
6 more in the front. So that's 11, plus another 2 on the speeders. That's 13 clone troopers. That's a heck of a transport.
Now, can you go over with the figures? Are there any named figures with this set?
This one, the named one comes with Captain Rex.
And is that phase 2 or phase 1?
Captain Rex phase
1.
I'm a sucker for phase 1, honestly. Not that I don't like phase 2, but I love phase 1.
I'm a phase 2 guy.
You know.
Now the real podcast begins.
So with regards to, and this is what I love, is the fact that there's so much room for the minifigs. But one question that people keep asking too are, when you want to populate these troop carriers, and the same thing with the TIE Reaper. I know I buy multiples, and what I do is I stack all the figures, and I just basically allocate them to one sort of ship. But is there a possibility, perhaps in the future, where people are going to be able to just purchase minifigs if you want an army build, or other than getting the scout, the blind boxes and stuff like that?
So we're primarily a vehicle-focused line right now, and so it would be more vehicle-focused, and the figures would be more of an accessory to the main item.
And I just wanted to reiterate that, because this is something that I asked months before, and I think it's good to repeat that, is the fact that the main focus are vehicles, and you're doing a great job with them too.
What we have done in the past is that, and what we're trying to do now too, is that even this one too, like when we do big bundles like that, we do our best to include a number of troops. So that, I think, it always is the best way to think about how we're going to get more troops, is that when we do a bundle like this, we try to build that sort of into those to those situations. So whenever we do bundles, it comes with what? It comes with with a number of troops that are in there, and that fills up a good number of it. There's always blinds.
Yeah, enter scout class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think next on speaking of scout class, let's talk about Wave 9. Unless we want to go do any other deep dives on, just a quick deep dive on. So quick look at the deco of the the Z95 because we have them here. Just give them a quick show, and then we'll jump into to Wave 9.
Yeah. So this is one of our newer ships, the Z95. And what's really cool about this one, it has 2 compartments. We can open the back and the front, and it will show the interior details of like the engine back here and some of the mechanism in the front. As well as then the front opens up here. You can see the pilot. And yeah.
Yeah, I love that too, because then that gives if you do dioramas and you have multiples like that you can take a couple engine hatches off and they all
maintenance,
maintenance, a little bit of character here and there, especially if people are doing their own customs. They do
and that one is battle damaged, right, to set it apart from the rare and the last wave.
Someone was
yeah, there's a little bit of the battle damage on here, and then this one also comes with a flight base. You can see here.
Oh, that was my next question. Very, very cool.
Yeah, so this one has a ball joint on it. So when you pop it up here, you can pose it to a degree.
I love that.
Mm-hmm. Well, it has landing gear also, right?
Yes, it also has landing gear so that when you want to put it in like in a parked position, it doesn't look awkward. Like this here.
Great.
Yeah, the ball joint was a great idea, and they're so tight too. You guys nailed the I guess tolerance on that too, because they're just tight enough to get it kind of at any angle you want to for posing up on a shelf.
Thank you.
And let's just give a little show of the lat as well, because this what lat number is this? Because we had like 4 or 5 to start with.
Way too many.
Yeah.
Not for the lat fan.
Nope.
That one's got a nice insignia too.
Yeah, if you can see, it's got a nice little the Republic logo here, and then over here you can see some of the detailed insides. You can see the missiles being loaded into the turrets on the top.
Perfect. You got something, Cole?
I was just gonna say, and the biggest difference here is this is more of a Clone Wars look at these ships, whereas the others were maybe an Attack of the Clones kind of version of these.
Yeah. Those were a little bit more. They all had their individual battalions, and this is more of a one centralized Republic.
More Clone Wars inspired deco, maybe.
A little bit more at the beginning before everyone starts to become unique. I was at a great quote from Filoni. He was talking about the difference between the Republic and the Empire. Let's see if I can do this right. But he was under the Republic. The clones were all under the Republic. They were all the same, but they got to show their differences. But then under the Empire, everyone was under the Empire. Everyone was different, and they all had to become the same. So, but yeah, I did not do that quote justice. But it doesn't matter because that's not why we're here. We're here to look at Wave 9.
Yes.
So and I've been talking about Wave 9 the whole night. So let's look at Wave 9. Why don't you guys? We'll pull it out. Where is Wave 9? Here's one.
We can start with.
Yes, let's start with this guy, who I didn't even know what that was at first.
Oh, that's my baby. So from Empire Strikes Back, when the pods are shooting out, going down the Hoth, and they're re-entering the atmosphere, you can't get a great look at it unless you pause it. But this is the pod that's coming down through the atmosphere when they're seeing some meteor hits. We researched and we found the exact model kits that they built the screen used models with. And I bought those, and we used those as our reference to make it as accurate as possible on the outside. And got some
amazing.
crazy detail on that.
I mean, if you think the outside is
Yeah,
crazy.
open that
Wait,
bad boy up.
there's
Open it.
more. It opens up.
Oh my God! Look at the probe droid.
Oh, look at that tiny stand.
That is one of my favorite droids. Oh my God! And that's for the scout class.
Yes. And he comes out, he stands on his own little clear base, and we got to put some incredible detail on the inside of the pod also. And that was really fun because there's not a lot of canon for that. So I got to combine some of my favorite Imperial architectural and ship textures on the inside. I ran some pipes and just really had fun and went to crazy on the inside.
This was hands down my biggest shocker from Celebration was seeing this.
Wow.
Yeah, I had so much fun doing it. It was a lot of work, but so much fun.
Does it come off the stand?
No, he stays on the stand.
He does self-destruct, though.
Yeah.
Do the legs articulate at all? Do they move out, or are they just straight onto?
They're soft PVC, so they do move around and won't break. But yeah, no, they're not jointed. That's too small. And it's a scout class.
Yeah. So is this going to be a common, or is this a chase or a rare?
I love that question, and I love it.
Oh, because I want at least a dozen of those. Like,
I'll have to find out.
It's the shut up and take my money moment.
The only thing missing from everybody's big Hoth dios now, probe droids and the Hoth rebel soldiers.
Yeah, go ahead. Okay, this is another one I got to work on. It's Luthen on the Andor speeder.
Nice.
So this is from Andor season 1, when Cassian is driving it, and they're taking off across the fields, making an escape. But I designed it where it will accept both figures because we've released the Cassian already. Nice. And so you can recreate that scene from season 1 Andor. Maybe not exactly like that, but if it's a little better than that, we worked very hard to make it fit great. But even Luthen, we worked really hard to really capture the likeness of Luthen. Again, we just agonized over the face sculpt and all of his detail and the coat and the gloves, and it looks like him.
And this is the debut of the minifig for Luthen Rael, right? Like, is this the first version?
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Somehow I knew right away. As soon as you put it up, it's like, oh, that looks like Luthen. So you nailed it.
Yeah, that great trench coat look.
So this one's really cool. So our friend Leon worked on this one. It has the sidecar on it.
Yeah.
And look at the deco we put on the front of that sidecar. Can you zoom in and get that Rancor face? Or no, that's not the Rancor. Which one is that?
No, it is Rancor.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't zoom in, but the deco is so tiny. But he nailed the Rancor, the screen accurate Rancor deco that is on there. It's just really cool.
Is that from an episode?
Yeah. I don't know the exact episode, but yeah.
What looks
from the Clone Wars.
Yeah. What's cool about it too is that at first I had to stop myself because it looks like it goes perfect with the Republic Attack Force set. It's got like the same exact shade, so it's like that goes perfect with.
Now, does this come with Anakin as the figure?
Yes, Anakin.
Okay.
Emperor is just there to be supportive.
So he's not low.
Emotionally supportive.
Yes.
Emotional support clone.
Yeah.
Let's do the pod. Okay, so Leon also made this, and
Leon did a lot of work.
oh yeah, it looks like a screen use model, but tiny. It's just he's so incredibly detail orientated, and the landing gears have detent clicks. The cockpit has landing gear. First of all, this tiny thing has 2 sets of landing gear on each pod, and then both cockpits also open up, and we have the awesome. Let's see if I can say this. Cloud car
driver.
No,
pilot?
What is it, Dion?
Okay, it's twin pod
Yes.
cloud car with twin pod cloud car.
Yes. That.
And it does officially come with 2, right? 2 pilots.
Open it up and find out for yourself.
I love that question.
Yes, actually, if you look at it, the 2 pilots have 2 different skin tones.
Oh, great.
I'm not sure if you can see it from here.
Oh, that's awesome. I know that is a massively consumer-friendly move because I've heard about that for 2 years now. People hoping that this one comes with 2 pilots.
I mean,
Well,
it's
there's
twin pod cloud car, right?
Yeah, show them. Wait, there's more. Wait,
Yes.
wait, there's more. Show them the engine compartment.
And then if you look at the middle here, you can see it.
Oh,
Yeah.
see,
It's so
And that-
small.
that's that extra bit that is just so appreciated. I mean, it's so much fun to do that and to make those little discoveries and to find them. It just really adds to the.
When Leon
coolness
said he
factor.
wanted to do it, I thought he was crazy, but he did it.
Yeah, that one came out really, really nice. That I'm super excited for that one.
Yeah.
And again, that was light armor class. Is that right?
One more from the light armor.
Yeah. One more. So this is Ezra Bridger and his prototype A-wing from the entertainment. So it's really fun, different, clean-looking deco, and we've done Ezra at least 3 times at different ages, and so this one he's more of a teenager, Ezra. So that's the sculpt I got to work on. So we had to combine the animated entertainment with the live actors feature. We kind of found a really happy ground in the middle. And all of his clothes are very accurate in the deco on him. He turned out really cool.
Yeah, I love that now that we're getting 2 different versions of some of these Rebels characters. I know Kanan is another one that we've got kind of a season 1 look versus a season 3 or 4 look.
And it's a fun one because it's a reminder that A-Wing 2 of how much Rebels was inspired by the Ralph McQuarrie artwork. And I think you really see it in the coloring of this one as well. And I like especially the gold. Hold on, did you show them the gold? The gold
Just
on that
little.
it's a little tiny detail that's like makes it pop.
Oh wow,
Very cool.
so pretty.
Listen, nobody has served Rebels fans like you guys have, just consistently. It's amazing. There's so many Rebel ships in the line, and I love it.
Use this one. No.
And then we have the last of the light armor class we have today is
Dun dun dun.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's amazing. Finally. I love that.
this is probably the biggest light armor class we have. So this one, also like some of the other TIE fighters, has open engine in the back, and then you have to remove the top wing, and then you can open the canopy here, so you can see the pilot and his cockpit. And then you put this back. And then, like the Z95, this one comes with a flight base, so you can do some posability.
Amazing.
And then we have the regular version as well as the elite version.
And that the yellow one that comes with Volt Scaris, right? That's
Yes.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can get him out.
More rebels. Love it. So you mentioned the size of it. Is that one that'll come a little bit deconstructed in the packaging?
This one will have to be.
Bless you.
Bless you. Bless you.
So, thank you. Whew.
Little extra weathering and deco there.
Oh yeah, those are just beautiful.
The yellow really stands out.
So
Okay, then moving on to the Starfighter class. First, we have the New Republic X-Wing.
I've been telling everyone all afternoon, I'm so excited to see this because I've been waiting for a New Republic X-Wing toy since I was reading the books in the 90s of post Return of the Jedi adventures. So, to see this, especially with all the cool color scheme coming from, from the Mandoverse, I'm really excited to see this.
Now is this just generic? I guess on the packaging or the design, is it generic New Republic X-Wing, or is this inspired by like a Lieutenant Reed or somebody else like that's been in one of the series?
Actually, I did a little digging, and I was able to find out the pilot and the droid, and it's Commander Cole, and Kevin is the droid name. That's what I found out for you, Cole.
but for us on the packaging, the official name is New Republic Pilot with R2 droid. So we didn't have the official name.
Similar to the, you've seen this one, Z95 before, but this one is the Partisan version. So they got this really cool black and light gray paint scheme on it. Makes it really stand out from some of the previous vehicles.
Yeah.
It kind of blends into the background right now, which I guess is good. And then in this one, it comes with Edrio.
What a amazing character to get a figure of in this line. Such a unique and interesting design.
Yeah, this one he's really detailed, and he looks so different from all their previous vehicles or previous figures.
So this is that could be a nice. You've got all these new sublines kind of that you've been doing here with the hologram and the retro toy designs. I'd be okay with just a whole Partisans subline where you've got X-Wings, you've got U-Wings, Just give me all the ships that might remotely be around Saw and his partisans in that deco, because that color scheme is so slick. I will take anything in that.
I'm completely with you. It's one of the coolest color schemes.
Yeah, it's just so cool.
Next, we have the new ATDP. So the taller brother to the ATST. So unlike the ATST, which is in a light armor class, this one is in a starfighter class because it's just that much taller. And then unlike the ATST, if you get the cockpit open, you can see it has 2 figures inside.
And those are 2 of the same same figures there.
Mm-hmm. 2 same guys. And then it closes, and it has a big, huge range of motion.
Wow.
Probably some poses you don't want to see.
Listen, there's an art to posing those smaller walkers like that. Sometimes I see pictures, and I'm wondering what was going through people's minds when they stood him the way they do. There's an art to it to get it to not look awkward.
And also the gun moves up and down, side to side. And like with all the other ships, the interior is very detailed. And yeah, that's the ATDP.
I love that. I'll have Ezra in mind for sure. Rebels fans continue to eat good.
Do we forget anything?
I think we got it all.
I think we did.
One more pass.
Now, one thing we skipped over, I did want to ask, was the probe droid. Does the top of it spin or articulate at all?
No.
Okay. Okay, I just want to make sure.
But if you turn the whole base, the whole thing does, and you can pretend it does. That's what I do. Just as good. Just as good.
So I think that wraps up Wave 9. We mentioned the Reaper and the ARC 170 are going to be available in August, so look out for them then. And Wave 9 too is also will be on shelves in August, so look out for them as well. So without further ado, for us, we've covered everything we want to talk about. Paul and Cole, thank you so much for your time. If you have any closing remarks on your end?
Thank you so much for including me in this. This line of toys has brought me an immeasurable amount of joy. I've become an enabler with this. I've gotten quite a few of my friends hooked on this line. And if you're thinking about getting into it, it is a slippery slope, but you won't regret it out there. These ships are fun to display, to buy, to hunt for, to make dioramas with, and to gift as well. So thanks a lot for this. Every new wave gets more and more exciting, and I truly appreciate being a part of this. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll echo everything Paul said, just less eloquently. It's been an amazing few years, and it's almost a part-time job for me at this point. Just covering it and enjoying it, and it's legitimately a significant part of my life now. So, thank you guys for the work you do and the passion that you put into this stuff. I know, especially it's from all areas, but the designers, man, the absolute unsung heroes of this line, and the detail and work and hours that you put into this stuff is really, really special.
Oh, yes. Well, that's it for this live stream. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thanks you for joining us. Again, look out in August, and also make sure to tune in for our presence at San Diego Comic-Con, where you can learn more about maybe some exciting drops. May the Force be with you.